Now let's see how we can navigate between pages. I have already continued from the last video. You can see now I can run npm run build, npm run dev not build, and it will start my development server. You can see now it will come. Now I can click this and it will give me the development server. Let's go here, and you can see it will render this page. Let's wait a little bit. Now it will render this page. When I go to this page, you can see it will give me this. Now I can delete this. And let's render hello h1 hello and save it, and go to this page. You can see it will give me this. Now let's go to global css and let's delete all the styling, delete that and save it, and go to again, and you can see it will give me hello. Now let's see how we can navigate between pages. Now in the app folder I can create any folder with any name what I want. Let's create a folder and let's give it profile, and if I create a page inside this profile, it will be rendered as localhost and localhost 3000 and profile. Let's show you. Now I can go to profile and let's create a new file and let's give it page.tsx, and let's give it a function array, not array, see, export default function, and let's give it profile, and let's render return let's return div this is profile page, and let's save this, and let's come here and let's come here and let's render profile. Let's say this profile, and let's go here. You can see it will render the profile page. You can see if I create multiple folders and if I set a page.tsx inside them, it will render their pages with their respective names. You can see now if I have ID, I can access the ID using use params. Now let's create ID inside this profile. Now we can see inside this profile I can create new folder, and inside this I can say any name. If I want to access dynamic data, I can give an ID inside this. Now this is dynamic data which is determined by the user's URL. So inside this ID let's create a new page.tsx. So again let's export default and function, and let's say it profile ID, profile ID, and let's render the again return div this is profile ID, and let's save this. Now let's come here. You can see I have already created the profile ID. Now this profile ID will be rendered when we change the ID. When we give any number or any sign, it will render this page. Let's show you. Now you can see this is the profile page. Now I can give anything in the profile. So now I can give any random number, and it will render profile ID. And again I can give 1 2 3. You can see it will render profile ID whenever I change this number or this ID. So if I want to access this ID first, I need to import the use params, which is used to parse the ID of the URL. So I can give const params equals use params. We need to import use params from next navigation. You can see now in order to use params, you need to convert this page into a client component. By default, every component is, if you don't use any client component, or if you don't give it a use client notation, it will be rendered as a use server. And the problem is, if you use params inside a server component, it will throw an error. Let's show you. And if I say, you can see it will give us some error because use params is a client property. We can't use it inside a server component. So I can enter this, and let's give it a use client and save it. You can see now it will give me this page. Now this params is the params of the page. So now I can parse it through params, and I can render it through params.id. You can see params.id. If I save this and save it, and let's go here, and let's give it this, you can see now it will render the params from this page. Now you can see this is how we parse params and how we navigate through the pages. Now the next is, if I want to navigate between pages, I should use router. So I can use router. So const, let's give router equals use router from next navigation, and make sure to import it. You can see I can navigate with this router. Let's cut this first, and let's give a bracket, and let's paste this, and let's give a button, and let's say it go to home. And in order to navigate, we can give on click event, on click, and you can use both brackets, and you can use also a quotation mark. In my case I use quotation mark, and let's give slash. It is giving me some error. Yeah, I can't use a quotation mark. I can use this, and I can give a function, and inside this function let's give router dot push, and let's give this, and let's render this. Now when I click this go to home, it will take me to the home page, which is page.tsx, which is hello. So now you can see if I click this, it will take me home, and I can also create use router. You can see we cannot use router inside a server component. By default this is a server component. If I use this, it will give me an error. So let's show you this. Const router equals use router from next navigation, and let's render this. Now it will give me an error. You can see use router, you cannot use router inside this page. So we need to convert this into use client, and render this. Now it will give me hello. And now if I want to navigate to the page, as I have shown you, we can Control X this, and let's give it a button. Let's give it a button. I think let's say first hi there, and let's give it 3 buttons. Button go to ID 1, and let's click this and on click, and let's give a function, and let's give router dot push, and let's give profile /1. You can see it will take me to now if I click this, you can see it will take me to profile 1, and if I click this, it will take me home. You can also create multiple buttons. Let's create multiple buttons, and let's give this 2, and let's give this to 3, and 2, and 3. Now let's save this. Now if I click this, it will take me to profile 1. If I click this, it will take me 2, and if I click this, it will take me 3. So now you can see we can navigate between using the router.push. I can, in the later section, I can also show you the link element. It is a little bit advanced concept. There is a little bit advanced concept in that. So the basic navigation, you can use router.push to navigate between pages. Now let's go to the next section.